welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. It's August 21st, 2019. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad to be back twice a week. It's Wednesday, it's football season. We've been doing just weekend shows for the past several months since football season came to an end. We're back. We got college football kicking off here in a mere, a week from today. We've got NFL action, preseason, week 3 action that we talked about the other day on the show and what my expectations were and the kind of things that I was looking for in some of the games that I wanted to see from the teams and the players. Baseball's heating up. It's starting to get to the time of year where, you're seeing the divisions come to an end. We kind of touched on that the other day a little bit as well, especially in the NL West where the Dodgers have just completely run away with that division. And there's still a lot going on. There's new stories every day. Today, I'm going to kick off again the Why I Love Sports segment, number 4. We'll talk about that today. Cedric Benson, rest in peace. We'll talk about him a little bit. Regrading I believe the 2017 draft revisited by Ali Banpuri on NFL.com. He's a deputy editor by them. So we'll talk about the grades that he gave the players in that draft. And, if I disagree, I'll say what I think. There's Jerry Boys and all the drama that's going on right down there. They can't stand that Antonio Brown is getting more press than them. So Jerry Jones is doing his best to kick around some drama down there right now. And then Carly Lloyd, she showed out at the Eagles practice. Could she make the leap? Could she make the leap to be a field goal kicker? Could an NFL club give a female kicker a shot, or a female player, period, a shot? Is that the direction we're headed with the NFL? We'll talk about that a little bit. Let's get Why I Love Sports number 4 going to start this show off today. We talked about this kid, I think, a couple shows back. He's been all over the internet. He was here at a Rockies game, here Colorado Rockies game, and he's walking around on the concourse. You buy your hot dog, you get a little souvenir. You're old enough, you get a little barley pop. And he goes and he finds the game where you get to see how hard and how fast you can throw a ball. Make sure you don't throw down or fall down while you're doing it. So this young man, Nathan Patterson, he steps up. He's clearly got some kind of a baseball background. He's got a pretty good arm. He's putting up nice numbers. He goes through and he hits 96, 97 miles per hour. Now, since this video's come out, we've seen other videos, similar things. They're at the event. They're at the baseball game. They're in the pitching, the pitching, what would you call it? The pitching game. They're in the speed tent. And they're hitting these numbers. Well, Nathan Patterson, he gets picked up. He goes viral. He hit 96 miles per hour. Speed pitch challenge is what it's called. And he landed a contract with the Oakland A's. Pretty cool. Amazing. Opportunity. Wasn't even, didn't think that's what he was going to be or going to do, even if he loved the game. He was just, his buddies are filming him. He's throwing as hard as he can. He's trying to show out. Testosterone, young guy, right? Well, it goes viral. Because he's throwing so hard. He's not throwing 60. He's not throwing 70. Maybe in the mid-80s. No, 96, near 100. That's special arm talent. So the A's pick him up. Well, he has now made his professional debut with the A's. He faced 3 batters. He had 3 strikeouts. Congratulations, young man. That opportunity presented itself. Sports presents a lot of opportunities. In this case, instead of presenting you opportunities outside of the game, it presented you an opportunity into the game. And you, to this point, it has not gotten to you yet. The idea, the fame, the notoriety, the attention you're now getting from going to a baseball game to the speed pitch challenge to now being out on the mound. Your little league self, your high school self, you dreamed of this. And because we're in the day and age of social media, you're now living out your dream. So that's pretty special. That's why I love sports, number 4. On the other side, a sadder note, We lost a former football player, former NFL player, former University of Texas great, Chicago Bear, Houston Texan, Cedric Benson this week in a motorcycle crash. And, I have mixed feelings about motorcycles. I have mixed feelings about cyclists. I have mixed feelings about the interaction between cars and cyclists and motorcycles and the way they need to share the road. I don't know all the details of Cedric's crash. It's unfortunate. Everybody feels for his family, of course. The fans feel for him because it's like, oh, I had this connection to this guy. In my memory of Cedric Benson, before we get into a little bit about him and his career, and my memory was watching him at University of Texas and thinking he was going to be the next Ricky Williams, that he had that kind of power, that kind of ability, that kind of speed, and that it was going to translate to the NFL level. So when the Chicago Bears drafted him, as a Detroit Lions fan, that was a knock. It was, oh, how are we going to stop this guy? We're going to be competing with him for 5-10 years. Time to get ready on defense. Let's get stacked. Now, we didn't necessarily get that out of Cedric Benson in the NFL. We didn't get that same runner, that same ability to just run over, by, around people that we saw at the University of Texas. Drafted by Chicago, like I said, in 2005, was there a few seasons. Went to Cincinnati for a few more seasons. Green Bay, Houston, for a cup of tea. He's a Texas kid. He was drafted by the Dodgers, played in their summer league. Never went pro, obviously, but he had 5 hits, 1 run, 3 doubles, 2 triples, couple RBIs. It wasn't his thing. Playing football was his thing. 1,600 attempts in his NFL career, over 6,000 yards rushing, over 30 touchdowns, 120 receptions, over 800 receiving yards, a receiving touchdown. He was a good NFL running back. By all accounts, a good NFL running back. He was a great college running back. Third team All Big 12 in 2001. Big 12 Offensive Freshman of the Year in 2001. Second team All Big 12 in 2002. Two-time first team All Big 12 2003-2004. Doak Walker Award winner for the best running back in the nation. Census All-American in 2004. AT&T ESPN All-American Player of the Year in 2004. Won the Ed Block Courage Award in 2010 in the NFL. So he will be missed. He will be missed by many. He will be missed for being a football player by a lot. He will be missed as a brother, a nephew, a son, a friend by many. I don't know how we can solve this problem. I get frustrated all the time. Just here in Denver in the last, 2 weeks or so, we've had several cyclists hit and runs. And I honestly don't know if any of them survived. But as I'm driving around the city and I see the cyclists not obeying the traffic laws, and I see the motorcyclists weaving in and out and doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing, at what point does the responsibility fall on that cyclist or motorcyclist? And I know that may be harsh, but we have to figure this out. It can't just be status quo. Too many people and too many accidents on vehicles where you have no protection are losing their lives. And it seems like there's an easy solution on sharing the road and being respectful. And it starts with having a little bit of patience. I don't know. We need to stop seeing stories like this. We need to stop seeing images of helmets that have been drug across the pavement after an accident. It's too often, too much, and it's because of behavior, not because of too many people, not because the roads are so clogged. It's a behavior issue. And again, I don't know all the details. I haven't read all the reports in Cedric's case. I don't know that all of that has been released. I think most of it has been, that I've read, been focused about who he is, that he was in the accident, and that he has lost his life. But it seems like one of the problems that we can easily get fixed. We like fixing things. We like going back and looking at things in hindsight. Now we know this, so what would we have done different then? And NFL.com, they always have these things. They're fun to read. They're fun to participate in. They're fun to, just like my grading system, my ranking system that I went through leading up to the preseason was completely random. So are these. These are opinions. That's what makes them interesting. That's what makes them great talk fodder. So, 2017 NFL Draft Revisited. Grades for first rounders 2 years in by Ali Bonpuri. Now, I can't say that I know a whole lot of his stuff or that I recognize Mr. Ali's name, Mr. Bonpuri's name. But I saw this. I kind of liked it. I think he's pretty on for most of, honestly, the grades that he's giving to this draft class 2 years in. And the first pick in this draft was Myles Garrett. He gives him an A. I would agree. I would give Myles Garrett an A at this point. He's played well. He's gotten better each season. I expect to see another leap from him with the talent that Cleveland has on paper. I expect him to have a double digit, maybe 15 sack season. So I like that grade of an A. There you go. Mitchell Trubisky, B minus. See, I'm with you on the first one, but B minus for Trubisky? C at best. First year, not so impressive. Last year, a couple moments that looked good under Matt Nagy, looked promising. But face it, that team last year was propelled by the defense and the running game and the ability of Tariq Cohen to be elusive. Did Trubisky make some plays? Did he have a couple big games? Sure. But B minus? I think that's a little high to go outside of the C range for Mr. Trubisky. Solomon Thomas, D minus. I agree with that. This guy has not shown up. For the third pick in the draft, he's going to find himself possibly cut right now. He's coming across as the guy who plays football because of his size and he can, not because he loves the game. I don't see the passion out of him. I'm watching him play the other night against the Broncos. I don't see no drive, no passion, no toughness. I just see a guy who's big enough and strong enough to be out there and not get hurt. Leonard Fournette, C+. Missed a year. One really good year in there. If you give Mitchell Trubisky a B minus, you got to give Leonard Fournette at least a B minus. Fifth pick that year, Corey Davis, wide receiver, C+ for the Titans. I think that might be a little high. Maybe C, C-, maybe D+. Really came up short as a rookie. Had some moments last year, kind of came on later in the season. Might be a little high for C+ at that fifth pick. Jamal Adams was the sixth pick. Gave him an A+. I agree. Jamal Adams, as long as he doesn't get a serious injury, he's going to have a really good career. Maybe it's with the Jets the whole time. Maybe it's not. I expect big things out of him, though, this year in Greg Williams' defense. That's for sure. Seventh pick for the Chargers, Mike Williams, B+. Maybe a B-, C+. Because face it, his rookie year, nothing. I know he was battling leg injuries still, back injuries. Didn't play till later in the season. But not what you would expect. Last year, okay, coming from nothing. Last year seems like, okay, great year. They're expecting a lot out of him this year with Tyrell Williams moving to Oakland. Mike Williams moving into that other slot, that other two slot, becoming that next weapon, second option. I think B+ at this point, 2 years in, is a little high. Christian McCaffrey, A+, dead ring. A+, no doubt. John Ross, D. Apparently, Mr. Ali Bonpuri is just being nice. John Ross is an F. What has he done? Absolutely nothing. Give him a D for what? Because he ran fast at the combine? Come on, man. Patrick Mahomes, A+, 10th pick. Yep, knocked it out the park. Marshawn Lattimore, A-. I'd probably give him a solid A. Deshaun Watson, 12th pick to Houston, A. Looking at this draft, this is a solid draft. Hassan Reddick, linebacker, C-. I agree with that too. He has not translated. He played so many different positions in college. They don't have a true position because of his size for him in the NFL. They played him at defensive end. They've played him at outside linebacker. It seems like maybe he's better suited in a 3-4 system playing that outside linebacker where he can use his speed and athleticism to rush the passer as opposed to being in so many pass routes and taking on, pulling guards and all that kind of stuff in a 4-3 defense. But it hasn't translated for him. So C-, that's even kind of nice. I might even go D on that one. Derek Barnett for the Eagles at 14, B-. I agree with that. He's turning into something real nice. Malik Hooker for the Colts at 15, he gives him a B. I see that. Didn't really take that next step in year 2, but you kind of expect him to be taking a step this year. Marlon Humphrey for the Ravens at 16, B+. Little high. Maybe C+. Hasn't been great, hasn't been bad. Jonathan Allen for the Redskins, defensive lineman out of Alabama. He gives him a B. I can go with that. He's growing. He's gotten better from his rookie year. So I can see that. Adoree Jackson, he gives a C+. I'd give him a B, B-. Not at the corner position, although he has made a couple plays because of his speed, because he had to make up ground when he busted coverage, but more so as a returner and a difference maker. I'd put him in that B- range. O.J. Howard for the Buccaneers at 19. He gives him a B. C+. He's been all right. He's turning into a weapon, but he didn't overtake Cameron Brate. But he's a guy. He's a weapon. He's going to develop more probably under Bruce Arenas. Garrett Bowles, offensive tackle, 20 for the Broncos. He gives him a C+. That's a joke. I give Derek Foles at best an F+, D-. He has sucked. And it's not really his fault. He shouldn't have been drafted where he was. He got into the football game real late. Like a decade after most guys. Decade and a half after most guys. Came in as like a 26-year-old rookie. 27-year-old rookie. He's still taking bad sets. He's still giving short corners. They can say, the tight end was supposed to chip the guy on that play, and that's why he ended up having to hold him. You still can kick out better. You can recover. You can use your hands better. You can strike. Everything doesn't have to be, Olay, let me tackle you. I might be able to get talked into a B because he's physical and kind of a mauler in the running game when he's not holding people. At 21, the Lions took Jared Davis. He gives him a B-. I'd give him a C. He's been okay. He's been all right. Pretty good in the running game. Horrible against the pass his rookie year. Not horrible, but not good last year against the pass. Showed some flashes as a pass rusher from the linebacker position. So I'd give him a C right now at this point. Charles Harris, 22 to the Dolphins. I wish I had a cricket noise. He gives him a D-. I'll have to go with that because what's he done? I haven't seen any highlights, and he's playing for the Dolphins. Bad roster, but still, he played with Sue at least one of the years he's been in the league. And that didn't help him out any. 23, Evan Ingram to the Giants, a B. I like that. Maybe B+. Jaron Conley for the Raiders at 24. He gives him a C, the cornerback. I agree with that. That's about right. Maybe C minus, but C sounds good. Cleveland took Jabril Peppers, the safety, at 25. He gives him a C. Now, I like Jabril Peppers coming out. I thought somebody would be able to figure out how to turn him into a weapon. I thought if he was that roaming safety on the back end, he could make some plays. Maybe as a punt returner, he would do something. Didn't work out for him in Cleveland at all. He's moved on to the Giants now. C. I think he's giving him a C here because it's let's wait and see what's going to happen with this guy. We just don't know. He wasn't really utilized. He wasn't that fit, wasn't right in Cleveland. John Dorsey knew that. John Dorsey moved him. 26, the Falcons tack McKinley. They give him a C minus. I'd give him a C. I don't think he's been bad. He's had some injuries. He hasn't really developed that second move yet. He's a little weak against the run, but he hasn't been bad. 27, Tre'Davious White for Buffalo, the cornerback out of LSU, B+. Yeah, I agree with that. He's going to be something good for a little while. Pick 28, Taco Charlton for the Dallas Cowboys, D-. I agree with that. Taco hasn't done anything. 29, the Browns again, David Njoku, the tight end, B-. I think maybe C+ is better for him there. B-, not quite there yet. If he takes that next step this year, if he has a 70, 80 catch year, if you see him flirting with 1,000 yards, if you see him getting 6 to 10 touchdowns, okay, I could see a B grade then developing after this year for the whole body of work. At 30, TJ Watt for the Steelers, edge. They give him an A. Mr. Ali Bonpuri gives him an A. I agree with that. TJ Watt and the Watt family know how to produce edge players. 31, San Francisco, Reuben Foster, the linebacker. He's not in the league anymore. He kept failing to keep himself in the league with multiple stops in different cities. Now he's hurt. He's out with the knee injury when he got another opportunity this year. He's had all the domestic issues. He's been dismissed from teams. He's been suspended. We've never seen it translate. We heard the stories coming out. I was kind of upset Detroit didn't get him. Then I heard all the stories. Now I'm starting to see why, again, they didn't go for him and they went Jared Davis instead. He gives him an F, really the only F he gave out. And the guy's basically flunked out, so yeah, F. Ryan Ramczyk at 32. The Saints pick him up, A-. This was a Pro Bowler as a rookie year. You can't give him an A-. You got to give him at least an A. Not an A+ because he didn't, go All-Pro in his second season. Got to give him an A there. But again, fun lists. Everybody out there would grade these players differently. I graded some of them differently than he did. I'm sure some of you are listening to me going, you're an idiot. I would grade them differently as well. I don't know how the Dallas Cowboys grade people. I don't know how they decide to do their contracts, but they have now extended Jalen Smith, the linebacker, giving him the most ever guaranteed money for an inside linebacker in NFL history. He signs the $65 million deal, but ultimately $35 million, or a little more than that, is guaranteed. So, Jalen's being extended. Dak's asking for 40. Or Dak is asking for 40. Zeke wants to get paid. He's not playing unless he gets paid. Jerry's out there saying Zeke who? Zeke's agent is saying that kind of pissed us off. We don't care if it was a joke. Other people are like, he shouldn't care. It was a joke. Not really when you messing with my money on the business side of the game. And remember, these are Jerry's boys. You're going to do what I say on my team, boys. We don't need the top rusher to win a Super Bowl, was said. The Dallas Cowboys, without Ezekiel Elliott, do not have a chance of winning the Super Bowl. With him, with that defense that is all dog and some talent, mostly at the linebacker position, with Amari Cooper being added to that roster, with that offensive line, the sum of the total is good enough to compete for a Super Bowl, in my opinion. The sum of the total is not good enough to compete for a Super Bowl if Zeke decides to sit out this year. And I'm all for players doing that. If you're fine that you're giving up money, and money's not the most important thing to you, but the respect and the long-term security is, that market value is, then do what you got to do. Because you are one of the ones that are talented enough that even if they were to say, you know what, we're cutting ties, kick rocks, you're going to get picked up the next day. You're on a rookie deal. You are one of the best running backs in the NFL. You could argue the best running back in the NFL. So what's that team going to do without him? Who do they have at running back that's going to step up? Darius Jackson, right? Darius Jackson's going to take over the load. Or maybe, let's see, who else they got at running back? They've got Zeke Elliott, Darius Jackson. They got two fullbacks, Awalier and Juszczyk. And then they have Jordan Chun, Darius Jackson, Alfred Morris. Okay, Alfred can play a little bit, but he's 30 now, right? That's the age where running backs no longer know how to play football. That's the popular opinion in the NFL. At 30, running backs can't play no more. Tony Pollard, rookie out of Memphis. Mike Weber Jr., rookie out of Ohio State. Maybe they think Mike Weber, who is a here and there guy at Ohio State, can be Ezekiel Elliott because he was at Ohio State. That's it. In fact, if you look at their roster on their website, Zeke's not even on it. They don't even have his image on there in the running back group or the fullback group. And that's at DallasCowboys.com/team/players-roster. So there's a divide there. And like I've been saying, when you have that many guys coming up that are going to need to get paid, when Dak's looking to get paid, when Amari's looking to get paid, when you're going to have to deal with Tyron Smith, eventually Zach Martin, La'el Collins, to keep that offensive line together, or piece together other people coming in, because you're going to have to let them go. If Michael Gallup continues to develop, he's going to want to get paid. You got Tavon Austin on your roster eating up money doing nothing. You look at the defensive side of the ball. You paid DeMarcus Lawrence. Malik Collins is going to want to get paid. Tyrone Crawford is going to want to get paid. You've got Jalen Smith you just extended, but Leighton Vander Esch on his rookie deal, he's going to need to get paid in the next couple of years. Chidobe Awuzie, the corner, Byron Jones. You've got all of this young talent that if it continues to develop, you have to end up somehow trying to pay. And it's not going to work. And it's showing its teeth right now in Dallas. And these are the kind of things that keep teams from winning Super Bowls. And this could keep them from winning a Super Bowl. Another thing that could keep them winning the Super Bowl someday is maybe a female field goal kicker. Carly Lloyd was out at Eagles practice this week, and she easily booted a 55-yard field goal. Just showing out. Doing her thing. And it's nothing new. We've had, Carly's had a long career. I'm glad she got to go out and do that and experience that with the things that she's accomplished. The World Cup titles, being on the U.S. national team. The stuff she's got going on in her personal life, the number of career highlights she has, going back to 2007, Allgrave Cup MVP, top goal scorer, U.S. Soccer Player of the Year 2008, Sports Writers Women of the Year 2012, Youth Soccer Hall of Fame 2012, Glamour Woman of the Year 2012, candidate for U.S. Soccer Player of the Year, Rutgers University Hall of Distinguished Alumni, Bleacher Report Top 100 Athletes 2012, FIFA World Player of the Year shortlist, CONCACAF Women's Championship MVP, best became the first player in women's national team history to score in 4 straight World Cup games in 2015, became the first woman in FIFA World Cup to score a hat trick in a final in 2015. Remember, Carly Lloyd helped that team. She propelled that team. She was the catalyst on that team in 2015 that won the World Cup championship, making her the Sports Foundation Women of the Year, making her the March of Dimes Foundation Sportswoman of the Year, U.S. Soccer Player of the Year, FIFA World Cup Player of the Year, the CONCACAF Women's Player of the Year, the Goal of the Year. They go on and on and on. She's had a distinguished career. Born the same year as I was in 1982. So just impressive what she's done athletically and what she could still do moving forward. But she joins the likes of a Rebecca Longo. She was the first American football kicker who became the first woman to earn a college football scholarship at the Division II level when she signed with Adams State. And women's football is becoming a bigger and bigger thing. It used to be a joke with the Lingerie Football League. It's now Legends Football League. And if you watch these women play, they are playing some intense football. They are aggressive. They've got some dog in them. They are a little bit nasty. Their coaches are oftentimes on tape taking it too far and throwing chairs in locker rooms. But there's been a number of women at the high school level that have kicked. There's been a number of women at the collegiate level. Colorado's own Katie Nida. First woman to score in a Division 1A bowl game when she kicked for CU. Ashley Martin, first woman to score in an NCAA game. April Gross, former college football place kicker at Kent State. Tanya Butler, first woman to score a field goal in an NCAA game. We have all of the semi-professional women leagues out there. There's now professional leagues that are being developed. There's women that are getting their chances to coach on the NFL level. We have NFL, the women that cover the NFL or college football do some of the best reporting and sideline reporting that is going on any televised broadcast right now, making most of the men look bad at that job, in my opinion. You have women in the front office. You have women as owners. We have female referees now. And it's not that they're infiltrating. It's not that they're taking over. It's that they saw a light, they saw a prize, and they've worked their asses off to get an opportunity, and they're going to take advantage of that. So all the power to them. I see the obstacles ahead of you. I see the things that you're going to have to overcome. But with the changes to the NFL game, with the concerns about health and concussions and things like that moving forward, with professional flag football leagues building up the way they are, we could eventually see men and women on the professional level playing on the same team. And why not? It's sports. It's not gender discrimination. If it's a level playing field, it's a level playing field. And if not, I love it when the underdog wins. So that's some real talk for today. We're back to twice a week. We will see you this weekend. KP's 4th annual showdown still has one spot left on the Fantasy Football League and NFL.com. Check out our social media feeds for the password and league ID. We've got some interesting people participating this year. It's a good group. We're going to have 12 teams overall. That's Wednesday. We'll be back this weekend. We'll talk some more football. I'm going to look into baseball a little more, kind of, pick out some stories we can talk about there. And until next time, you know how we do. Just be real.